Clemson City Police Department is alerting students living off campus about a home invasion that occurred at 12:55 a.m. Friday at the Clemson Evolution East Apartments. Two masked men armed with guns forced their way into an apartment and had the 5 student residents lie on the floor while they searched the apartment. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Police are asking students to lock their doors and windows and not to open the door unless they know who is there. Anyone who has information about the incident should contact City Police at 864-624-2000.
With a plan 20 years in the making, friends Chan Klein and Les Campbell are finally ready to start rolling out their gourmet popsicles. Their company, Carolina Pops, makes organic vegan popsicles with some unique flavors such as honey lemon honeydew, mango habanero, and chocolate fudge. If this sounds interesting to you, check them out on Facebook or pay their stand a visit in front of the Esso Club at any of our home football games.
Now that classes are back into the swing of things, some of you are probably realizing that one class you registered for isn't quite what you were expecting. Well, count on Clemson to keep things interesting. A recently released list of the most unique classes includes those in which students view classic insect horror films, get to build robotic Lego Roombas, shoot promotional videos shown during athletic events, study vampires, and travel to state parks, resorts, or sports arenas. If you're searching for a class to complete your schedule, don't give up because there's something for everyone.
Now let's check in with Gabby Vates for sports.
It's that time of year again. Yeah, that's right. College football is back, and it's been an exciting first weekend. Let's start off with Thursday. Kicking off the season, we had 21-ranked Texas A&M at number 9-ranked Carolina. Kenny Hill, replacing Johnny Manziel, proved he had what it takes to fill the shoes of Manziel. Already breaking Manziel's single-game passing record with 511 yards, Kenny Hill was able to help lead the Aggies to a 58-28 victory over South Carolina. The Aggies went to halftime with a 31-14 lead over the Gamecocks. Dylan Thompson, quarterback replacing Connor Shaw for Carolina, was able to come through with 2 long scoring throws of 69 yards and 46 yards. But they were not able to hold the Texas A&M's offense. South Carolina gave up 7 TDs on Texas A&M's first 11 possessions. Kenny Hill became the superstar of the game, passing for 366 yards and 4 touchdowns. Johnny Manziel tweeted Kenny football, #Gig'em. Another Thursday kickoff, we had number 18 ranked Ole Miss against Boise State at the Georgia Dome. Both teams seemed a little sloppy throughout most of the game. Grant Hendrick for Boise State was picked up 4 times, while Ole Miss's Bo Wallace had 3 interceptions before halftime, and both quarterbacks had 1 picked off in the end zone, ruining both chances of scoring. Ole Miss was able to come through around the 4th quarter, beating Boise State 35-13. Bo Wallace, quarterback for Ole Miss, threw for 387 yards and 4 touchdowns. 3 of the touchdowns came from consecutive throws in the 4th quarter. Quarterback Grant Hendrick stated, "You're not going to win too many games throwing 4 picks. We had opportunities, but we just didn't capitalize on some plays. That's what stings." Moving on to Saturday, we had number 16 ranked Clemson Tigers facing off number 12 ranked Georgia. Tiger fans were eager to see what quarterback Cole Stout had in store. Stout had a pretty good start for the Tigers. Stout and offense had a 12-play, 70-score drive with senior DJ Howard scoring the 1-yard touchdown run. After seeing Cole Stout play, the Tigers also got a glimpse of the 4-star recruit Deshaun Watson in the 2nd quarter. Watson led a 6-play, 78-scoring drive, capping it off with a 30-yard touchdown throw to Sharon Peak. The Tigers' defense was able to hold the Bulldogs to 68 passing yards and 45 rushing yards. It was the second half that the Tigers began to struggle. Todd Gurley put some tremendous numbers up the second half of the game. He broke out with a kickoff return of 100 yards in the 2nd quarter and dominating most of the second half. Gurley scored 4 touchdowns and set a school record of 293 all-purpose yards. The Bulldogs were able to pull off a 45-21 victory over the Tigers. Stout told the media after the game Saturday, quote, "I told the entire offense and the offensive line that we're going to get better from this, we're going to work harder, and we're going to fix the mistakes that we had." Clemson faces South Carolina State this week in Death Valley at 12:30. Number 2 ranked Alabama faced off unranked West Virginia. Blake Sims getting the start over Jake Corbin helped lead the Tide to their 33-23 victory over West Virginia. Sims was 24 for 33 for 250 yards and added 42 to running. The Mountaineers struggled with dropping passes, including 1 in the 4th quarter that could have been a TD. Despite their missed passes, the Mountaineers' Clint Trickett had 365 yards passing against the Tide. What an exciting game it was, with LSU coming back with a strong 28-24 victory over Wisconsin. Number 13 ranked LSU was down 24-7 early in the third quarter. The Tigers fell behind by 17 points after Wisconsin's Corey Clement was able to score a 2-yard touchdown run. The Tigers responded with 2 consecutive field goals, then going on to score 2 touchdowns to take a 28-24 lead over the Badgers. LSU's quarterback Anthony Jennings was able to throw an 80-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Trevon Durrell in the first quarter, aiding the Tigers in their victory against the Badgers. Despite their loss, the Badgers were able to put up 182 yards on 26 carries in the first half. Other scores this weekend in the ACC included Wake Forest losing to UL Monroe 17-10, Syracuse defeating Villanova 27-26, Georgia Tech beating Wofford 38-19, NC State defeating Georgia Southern 24-23, Boston College beating Massachusetts 30-7, Florida State defeating Oklahoma State 37-31, Duke defeating Elon 15-13, and North Carolina defeating Liberty 56-29. Miami and Louisville face off tonight at 8 p.m. on ESPN. That's all for your sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks. Governor Jerry Brown is set to sign a bill passed last week banning plastic bags in the state. Should this bill pass, shoppers who forget to bring their own shopping bags will be charged at least 10 cents at grocery stores for paper or reusable bags beginning next summer. Californians are calling this legislative movement a bunch of baloney and saying, "We have too many rules and regulations in California." The California Department of Resources Recycling and Recovery estimates that only 1 to 3% of the billions of plastic shopping bags used in California are recycled each year.
2 people were arrested on suspicion of felony theft last Friday after reportedly stealing a ring from a Zales jewelry store in Orem, Utah. The police, however, were unable to find the ring once they apprehended the suspects. After taking the ring from the store and being chased by a store employee, both suspects were arrested by the police before an X-ray revealed that the several $1,000 ring had been swallowed and was inside of one of the suspects' stomachs.
Last Wednesday, a federal agent was arrested in Burbank after allegedly pulling out a handgun and telling a citizen to follow him. Officers responded to a report of a person brandishing a gun while heavily inebriated around 12:30 a.m., according to the Burbank Police Department. The victim stated that after following the man for a short period, the victim was able to run away and escape. Police searched the area around 1 a.m., less than a mile away from where the victim last saw the man. Investigators learned that the gun-wielding man was an agent with the United States Marshal Service. The man was arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and brandishing a firearm, according to the police. They are still currently investigating the incident.
Some new parents worry about having child-safe burner switches so their children can't accidentally turn on the stove burners. Well, it may be the time to start worrying about dog-safe burner switches. While a New Jersey family was away from the house, their dog accidentally turned on the stove and set fire to a laptop that had been left on the stovetop. Smoke was billowing from the roof when firefighters arrived, but the blaze was quickly extinguished and the dog was rescued unscathed. So remember, make sure your dog can't turn on your stove. Oh, and don't leave your laptop on the stove either.
The United States Coast Guard rescued a couple stranded 10 miles off the coast of Florida this past Saturday, nearly a week after they went missing. Bogdan and Elizabeth Mikowski were found about 2 a.m. in stable condition. Their sailing vessel was towed and the couple transferred safely to Ancledote River Boat Ramp in Holiday, Florida.
A New Hampshire man was arrested in the wee hours of Saturday morning after being involved in a chase with the state police. His motorcycle was clocked at 127 miles per hour at around 3 a.m. and pursued by state troopers. One trooper was forced to give up pursuit, but another witnessed the motorcyclist crash into a guardrail and began pursuit on foot. The suspect led police on an hour-long foot chase before being taken down with the help of a police dog. He claims that he reached 185 miles per hour during the chase, but he has been treated for injuries from the crash and the dog and now faces a variety of charges. And now with your entertainment news with John Oliver Valentin.
Thanks, guys. I'm John Oliver with this week's entertainment news. Iconic comedian Joan Rivers has remained unconscious since her last arrival. Can we do that again? Sorry. Thanks, guys. I'm John Oliver with this week's entertainment news. Iconic comedian Joan Rivers has remained unconscious since her arrival last Thursday at a New York City hospital. However, her daughter Melissa remains hopeful. Rivers arrived at Mount Sinai Hospital after suffering from cardiac arrest during a throat surgery. Doctors have confirmed she is currently in serious condition and have kept the comedian sedated and under close supervision. Fellow comedians and celebrities have reached out via social media offering their condolences to both Joan and Melissa. Taylor Swift will be offering her voice this fall season to the hit NBC show The Voice. Swift will be the mentor to the competitors on the show. She will also join other guest mentors including Gavin Rossdale, Stevie Nicks, Little Big Town, and Alicia Keys. The permanent judges for the 7th season are Adam Levine, Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani, and Pharrell Williams. The Voice is scheduled to return September 22nd on NBC. Matthew Knowles, the father to the legendary Beyonce Knowles, said in an interview this past week that the infamous elevator brawl between his son-in-law and daughter was a publicity stunt. Knowles said they used a Jedi mind trick on fans. He believes low ticket sales to the Run Tour were the cause of the elevator smackdown. In celebrity wedding news, Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade got married this past weekend. In traditional fashion, Union wore a white gown while Dwayne Wade wore a custom-made tuxedo. Everyone here at Tigervision wishes them many years of happiness. And finally, breaking news, Carrie Underwood is pregnant. Congrats to the happy couple. That's all for tonight.
Thanks, John Oliver. In world news today, the German government will soon be sending high-power rifles, tank-busting weapons, and armored vehicles to aid Kurdish fighters battling the Islamic terrorists in Iraq. The Defense Ministry stated yesterday that the equipment is enough for 4,000 Kurdish fighters. 3 shipments of equipment including 8,000 G36 assault rifles with ammunition, 30 Milan anti-tank systems, and 5 heavily armored Dingo infantry vehicles will be shipped at the end of September.
Who here likes cake? I'm sure it's a lot of us, but last Thursday, one cake enthusiast might have taken it a little too far when he paid $1,375 for a 33-year-old piece of cake. The cake in question was a piece of cake still in its original presentation box from Prince Charles and Princess Diana's wedding in 1981. Although it is still wrapped in its original wax paper, what is wrapped up most likely does not qualify as cake any longer. Auction house spokesman, however, says that some collectors have purchased cake dating back to Queen Victoria's wedding in 1840. I'd say that one takes the cake.
The popular ALS Ice Bucket Challenge has spread to North Korea. Pras Michel, a Grammy-winning American rapper, did the challenge in the center of North Korea's capital yesterday. Pras had 2 buckets of ice water dumped on him along Pyongyang's Taedong River, amusing many North Koreans in the area. Pras stated that he wanted to join the charity challenge and thought that Pyongyang would be the perfect location since the ALS challenge was unheard of in that area. More than 3 million people worldwide have joined the challenge and raised over $100 million for the ALS Association.
Imagine this scenario. You're sleeping in your apartment before daybreak when all of a sudden a SWAT team busts in pointing guns at you as you lay in your bed. You've sort of been expecting this, since you're a drug dealer and all. Only you aren't actually a drug dealer, your neighbor is. After deciding to leave the hallway lights off to avoid raising suspicion, Austrian police misread an apartment number and broke into the wrong apartment last week. They subsequently broke into the actual intended apartment where they discovered the suspected drugs and a suspicious amount of cash and took 2 men into custody. The victim of the mistaken break-in has been compensated.
Just yesterday, an earthquake struck northern Pakistan. The magnitude 6 earthquake fortunately caused little damage according to Pakistani authorities. Pakistan Meteorological Department official Mohammed Shahid states that people felt the earthquake as far as Peshawar and Islamabad. He said its epicenter was in the Hindu Kush Mountains on the border with Afghanistan and Tajikistan. Pakistan has an unfortunate history of frequent earthquakes over the past few years, including the devastating quake in 2013 with a magnitude of 7.7.
After years of hiding from his owners, Australian sheep Sean has been found and shorn for the first time. Sean has been evading his annual shearing by hiding on the farm until he was recently discovered. Sean had 52 pounds of wool shorn from his body, only 8 pounds shy of the record 60 pounds set 10 years ago by New Zealand sheep Shrek. And we finish off our broadcast tonight with a weather report from our trusty wisecracking weatherman, James Eister.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at your weather for the rest of the week. It's going to be pretty sunny tomorrow, but as you see, moving along through the rest of the week, we're going to have increasing chances of rain. It's going to also cool down for the rest of the week, so that'll be pretty nice. Highs in the upper 80s, lower 90s for the rest of the week. Taking a look outside right now, it is a warm 84 degrees, humidity 56%. so it's kind of humid outside. Winds out of the west at 4 miles an hour, so there is a nice breeze outside. Taking a look at our radar, we do see some cloud cover and extra rain in Georgia. That won't head our way tonight, but there's a low pressure, high pressure front going to meet above the Alabama-Georgia line and going to move into South Carolina for the rest of the week, and that's what's going to produce all the rain we're going to be seeing. Taking a look at our national radar, same story, few clouds in Georgia and South Carolina, but nothing's going to show up tonight or tomorrow. And so I was in statics and dynamics today, and somebody was like, wow, it's already September. So I said, you know what they say, time flies like an arrow and fruit flies like a banana. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, James. That's all for tonight. Thanks for joining us, Clemson.
Be sure to like our Tigervision Facebook page and follow us on Twitter at CU_Tigervision.
Have a great week, Clemson, and be sure to catch Tigervision at the First Friday Parade.